Thanks for joining us on this episode of After Hours. We have more national headlines for you and those trendy topics that you love, but we're going to be starting this episode with something a little bit more serious that has happened in today's country. On yesterday, actually, with the Oxford High School shooting over in Michigan that left students killed and others severely injured. Now, we're going to kind of take it here to the couch and with our other cast, and kind of growing up, we had a lot of active shooter drills, maybe tornadoes based off what area you live in. So what are some of those drills that you kind of grew up with that keep you safe?
I know growing up we did, obviously you did fire, tornado, and then active shooter, which is something that like my parents didn't grow up with. They were doing the like bomb threats where you did the duck and cover, and I know in California, earthquakes, you do those drills. But I can remember so clearly like learning active shooter drills and what you do and what you don't do and staying quiet and going to the place far behind. I mean, we had teachers that went to the extent of having tables with tablecloths over them in the back of their classroom that we could get under.
Right.
And that was such a normal thing for us to learn with your code words and things like that. So I know that was something that I grew up with, and it really made an impression on me. Even going into college, it was like, well, what do you do if you're on this large college campus? Then what?
Yeah, and actually back in 2015 over at Mississippi State's campus, we did have an active shooter, and we all had to kind of get to that safe place. I remember being in my science class, or whatever they would call us, something of a different title, but we had to get under our desk and we had to kind of all pile towards the back of the room, and we had kids calling their parents, and it was really eye-opening experience because you never really think it could happen, and it did that day,
It's just weird when you're a kid and they're just like, okay, we got to do these lockdown drills, and if you don't really know what they mean, you just don't think much of it, and you just go through the protocols. But once you get older and you gain perspective and you look back, like it's actually, I don't know, maybe it's better that the kids didn't know kind of how scary it was, but that's unfortunately just a reality now, so I'm sure they're much more aware but then when we did them back in the day, we would just do them just for a lockdown type of drill, and we wouldn't really overthink what it was for. We're just like, oh, just another safety protocol type of deal.
You never think it would happen to you until it happens and it becomes such a reality. Like you said, like even at Mississippi State, y'all had a active shooter, so it's a scary thing. You gotta stay safe.
Yeah, I kind of grew up in a little generation between most people on the couch and your parents, but I'm from Maryland, and I went through the whole DC sniper stuff that was back in the early 2000s, late 90s. I was not allowed to, all sporting events were canceled for weeks on end, and I just remember being terrified about just the idea that someone's going up on a bridge or outside of a car and just taking shots at passersby. Just that. Winston, you mentioned that absolute just terror and not knowing when something's going to happen and how to prepare for it. It'll scare you real quick.
Yeah. How routinely did you all kind of go through those drills? I know for us it was
Not
maybe
often.
during the 9 weeks, but
I mean, maybe like once a year, I would think.
Something like that.
Maybe it was my school. We did them like quite frequently, and I can remember 2 or 3 times when we went into lockdown for a stranger on campus or things like that, near one of the other schools in the area, things like that. Like I truly remember having to write an essay because we were all talking during a drill, or what we thought was a drill when it was an active situation.
Oh, wow.
And we had to write why you don't talk even when it's a drill, because you never know if it's a drill or if it's real.
Yeah, we had a well, we didn't know it was a lockdown, and they just sort of announced a lockdown drill as my senior year of high school, and they just said, Dr. Costanzo, report to the office immediately, and apparently that was the code word or phrase to lock down. But of course the students didn't know that, but the faculty did, and so okay, let's go to the back of the room, and they locked the door, and we were all like, what in the world is happening? But we obviously, they told us what to do, and we were, paying very close attention. But as students, we didn't know if it was real or not, because I think that was, I guess one good thing about it is that they kept it very tight-lipped, and nobody in the school knew it was happening.
That's a good code to have.
Yes.
It is.
We had a code word too. I don't remember what it was, but it was
I was an office assistant, so I ended up learning the phrase. That's how I figured it out later.
Yeah.
Well, you
but
have
still.
to it just makes you wonder, and this might kind of sound disheartened, but I mean, back in the day when some of us were in high school, these things weren't as much of a common occurrence as they are today. So when we're going through these types of drills, you're not overthinking. You're just like, oh, okay, we're just doing this basic safety stuff. Where now, where all these videos on social media are out, there was one at Oxford of these kids and someone was like knocking on the door trying to impersonate a sheriff, an active shooter, to get in there.
Yeah.
If I was a kid and I saw that, then I would obviously be taking all those drills exponentially more seriously than I was. So now that there's been unfortunate evidence, hopefully people are taking these drills much more seriously than I did, or people of my age back then, because it wasn't as much of a thing as it unfortunately is today.
It's so crazy because it was a TikTok video that went viral of kids, and the shooter was knocking on the door saying, "It's the police, come out." And the guy and the teacher said, "No, we're not coming out. Like, we're gonna wait." And the guy said, "Bro, come out." And the kid said, "No, don't open the door," and ran out of the classroom.
Wow.
And that's something that you just don't know what to expect. So it's
Yeah.
always best to just use your best judgment. But kind of moving forward, you want to be mindful of your surroundings, whether you're at a school campus or whether you're at a workplace or just in the grocery store. It's always important just to see who's in there with you. Make sure you know your exits and just kind of how to navigate those areas. But kind of moving forward, it is December 1st. We're into the colder months now, and it's time for Christmas. It's time to get those packages. So when do you all start setting up for Christmas? I actually started in November before Thanksgiving. So
Sheesh, I'd probably start like a little later too, because we are just so slammed with football, or that's literally my all day, every day between the high school and college and all of that stuff. I witnessed Isaac, going a little insane over the Bama
A
Auburn
little
game.
bit is an understatement.
I understand, very passionate.
We're talking
big
about
fan over
Christmas,
here.
happy
I know. Yes, exactly. But probably right after that early December range. But I know there's been a lot of delays in shipping and all that other stuff. So I probably should have gotten on it sooner. So if my relatives get their gifts on January 31st, I'm sorry.
well, at least they're getting a gift.
31st?
That's the main point.
If the shipping is delayed, when do you start?
I mean, I typically start probably like a week before Thanksgiving. Just
Okay.
go ahead and try and get stuff like
Early bird.
the week
on his
before
level.
Congrats.
Christmas, so everybody can be happy. But
Nice.
if they don't have,
Could be happy like my family.
I mean, look,
John's
man, look.
family's just sad.
I want everybody to have their stuff on time, but if I don't have mine on time, then everyone is gonna have to wait.
Okay.
Oh, wow, Desmond.
I hear it.
I don't think this will shock any of you that I only have 4 more Christmas presents to buy, and my tree was up the second week of November.
Now, are the
Oh, wow.
presents wrapped too already? Or?
No, I've got to get
Okay.
some boxes, but I have the wrapping paper and everything
course
to
you
go
do.
with it. I just
Perfect.
haven't started. I haven't had the time, so.
Lord, I need to actually start, Chris. I haven't bought a single person a thing.
I bought 2
Good.
At all.
things today, December 1st today.
Well,
and
very last minute.
That's all I've
It
done.
is very
The
last
list-
minute.
the
I only
list
have 2
continues to
people I
grow.
have to buy gifts for, and that's my mom and my dad.
And
My
Desmond.
mom typically handles,
And
Apparently Desmond's
and apparently, so Desmond is third on the list. My mom actually handles all my gift stuff for
Well,
me.
Steven's over here wants a gift too.
Well,
so.
no.
All right, so look, my
Every
mom-
day is a gift.
You should get Steven some gravy to go with that holiday joy.
Yeah, I get him a bucket of gravy. My mom buys all my gifts for me, so she'll buy like a gift to give my dad. She'll buy me
Oh,
a gift
man.
to give my grandmother.
What is that?
A gift to get my grandfather.
Get out.
Okay.
To get all my aunts and my cousins. My dad will buy me. Was like, oh, we'll pitch in on a gift or whatever.
Okay.
Winston doesn't buy gifts.
So, yeah,
No.
basically
Moral
what
of
I'm
the
hearing
sign your
is
name on the
lazy.
gift.
But I sign my name on the gift.
Oh, my
Lord
gosh.
have mercy.
Wow,
What
that
a-
must be very hard.
I mean,
Yeah.
we're busy. We had end zone, and
Yeah, man.
You don't do
All those
anything.
times that Winston did answer.
Yeah,
right?
let's
Yes.
roll that back.
If you can't tell, one of our favorite pastimes is giving this guy a hard time.
Yeah,
Hey.
we
all
do.
love,
Yeah.
But
You
it
gotta
makes
have tough
he
skin.
makes it so easy with comments like that.
I will say though, in his defense, my family, I don't really buy a ton of gifts for
We
my
have, like,
immediate
50
family either.
siblings.
Exactly. So most
That
of the
must be
parents
nice.
take
How
care
many
of
does he
that. But we do a Secret
6.
Santa kind of deal every year. So that is the responsibilities are on the individual siblings to do the shopping there, and I'm all done with that too. So.
That's
Okay.
that's
Now, obviously, Santa comes on Christmas morning, I guess, but do you open any presents beforehand?
As kids, yeah, would be like one on like Christmas Eve night.
Okay.
Okay.
As the years have changed and all the, every time the families would get together, everyone's usually a lot older, so there's less presents usually. So you want to try and make the most of
Well, you
those.
get less presents when you get older.
yeah, dude.
Generally,
There's fewer,
Santa's not as
yeah.
generous
Where have
when
you
you're
been?
older, 'cause apparently you have
Yeah,
your
get ready.
own job.
Well, Winston's the only child, so
I am an only child.
Oh,
everything
that's
you like.
true.
After there may be some kids watching this, but after I realized where my gifts come from,
Sure, sure.
with many Santas around here, after I discovered that the presents got a little fewer, so they got a little bit less. So my parents, they knew,
the day-
not to put a big gigantic
In the
thing.
Davis household at almost 24 years old and almost 30 years old for my brother. If you do not believe, you do not receive. Santa very much still comes to the Davis household.
Oh, my.
Still to this day.
I saw the nutcrackers outside your home too.
What?
The nutcrackers? You guys really go
My
big
dad
with
built those. Shout out to Mike Davis.
Nice.
He built the two. If you're ever in downtown Columbus, I won't give my address. But if you're ever riding around and you see the two large nutcrackers in front of the house, my dad built those, and I painted them when I was little. So
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Well,
adorable.
don't give out your address, but
no,
I
they're
didn't,
not
I didn't mean to put
functioning. But if you
your
look,
house on blast.
I mean, it's for all my fans and everyone that you know.
For all the
whatever.
fans.
All the people that know me. But if you look closely too, in the middle of their belts, instead of a belt buckle, it's got a bowl of cotton, like a little thing. So.
oh, nice.
Beautiful.
Well, whether you have started shopping or not, whether you're on the beat like Emma Rose here, over in Alabama in Blount County, the FedEx driver has dumped 300 to 400 packages. I'm pretty sure y'all have heard of that.
So my dad bought me a TV and
it
it
in that-
hasn't
was
gotten
it-
here yet.
Was it in the truck, do you think?
I don't
Are
know.
we going?
Do we need to go get it?
We might have to go TV hunting.
I was going to say, are
I
the
think they're-
packages still there? I mean,
No,
is it
they've
just
been
kind of a
picked
free-
up.
Well, I saw today actually from a friend who works at one of the Birmingham TV stations that it happened again in a different county, but to a lesser extent. There was like 30 packages.
Oh,
it was in
wow.
Tilton County, the Peach Tower,
Oh,
if you're familiar.
Lord.
But I mean, what is with that?
Dude, I was at your place like a month ago, and you were like, "Yeah, TV's gonna get here in like 3 or 4 days." I guess
Yeah, you say my
Track that
dad.
one, buddy.
yeah.
I might have to go to Blount County. See what's going on.
Truly.
Might have
We
to
have to
just go search in that ravine where.
Well, he called me today. He was like, "Yeah, I bought your TV, and Walmart keeps canceling. I bought it again. They canceled it again. I don't know what's going on." He's like, "I
heavens.
tried a different TV because the other ones were canceled." So,
Maybe do a curbside pickup.
They should send you a free.
Right.
That sounds about right.
well, he has this new tradition now. So every time he comes to visit me on my birthday, he'll buy my gift during my birthday week. He's like, "Well, I'm gonna get you a gift now, and don't ask for nothing on Christmas Day." And I'm like, "All right, cool." So it's
That is
like,
the bad part of having those like around Christmas
yeah,
birthdays.
yours is on the 21st, right?
21st, 4 days away, man.
Do you get gifts for both your birthday
No.
and? Okay.
God, no.
How does that make you feel? My sister's birthday is December 12th, and we give her
But
her
it's not
birthday,
your-
then her Christmas.
It's not your fault that you were born.
I mean, I guess Jesus' birthday is just a little more important than
Yeah.
Death.
I mean,
Hallelujah.
Just
Amen.
one gift all the time from everybody.
Well, you know, Jesus only got the 3, so.
Well, Desmond, now it's 2.
Man, I certainly do appreciate that. I certainly do appreciate that.
Oh man, what did you get him?
I don't want to ruin the
Oh,
surprise.
all right.
So do I open this now?
It's
No.
an
Okay.
empty.
I don't think you should.
Shake it. You gotta shake it. See what's
Right,
in
what's
there.
in it?
Oxygen. is
Got
in
you some
there.
lint.
Casper.
Giving oxygen.
Casper.
You do love Halloween.
Oh wow, oh wow. Well, if anyone has anything else that they would like to discuss, or we can go ahead and wrap this on up for episode 3.
Just hope Santa comes to see everyone.
He will
Just like
see
he does with the
everyone.
Don't be naughty, be nice.
Be nice.
And remember to say howdy toddy.
You might get some coal in your stocking.
No.
I mean, you know.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. As always, if you have any more ideas or topics, we're going to send it right back to Emma Rose so you can visit us on our social media page, and she can tell you where to find that.
Yeah, it's just at After Hours WCBI on Instagram, and I believe the same on Twitter. So shoot us a message. Let us know what you want to hear us talk about.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. We will see you back here next week.